जना यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तनम की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। शील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। We are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 12, Conversation between Maharaj Rahugana and Jad Bharat. We are studying today text number 10. Kindly repeat after me. Evam krisham sthulam anurbrihadyat asaccha sajjivam ajivam anyat dravya sabhava shaya kalakarma namna jayavehi kritam dvitiyam evam krisham sthulam manurbrihadyat asaccha sajjivam ajivam anyat dravya sabhava shayakala karma namna jayavehi kritam dutiyam evam krisham sthulam manurbrihadyat asaccha sajjivam ajivam anyat dravya sabhava shayakala karma namna jayavehi kritam dutiyam. Dravya sabhava shayakala karma namna jayave kitam dvitiyam evam krisham sthulam anurbrihadyat asat sajivam manayanyat dravya sabhava shayakala karma namna jayave kitam dvitiyam. Vaishnavis. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Evam, thus. Krisham, skinny or short. Sthulam, fat. Anu, tiny. Brihat, big. Yat, which. Asat, impermanent. Cha, and. Sat, existing. Jivam, the living entities. Ajivam, inanimate, lifeless matter. Anyat, other causes. Dravya, phenomena. Swabhava, nature. Ashaya, disposition. Kala, time. Karma, activities. Namna, only by such names. Ajaya, by material nature. Avehi, you should understand. Kritam, done. Dvitiyam, duality. Translation. Since this universe has no real ultimate existence, the things within it, shortness, differences, grossness, skinniness, smallness, bigness, result, cause, living symptoms and materials are all imagined. They are all pots made of the same substance, earth, but they are named differently. The differences are characterized by the substance, nature, predisposition, time, and activity. You should know that all these are simply mechanical manifestations created by material nature. Purport. The temporary manifestations and varieties within this material world are simply creations of material nature under various circumstances, prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. The actions and reactions carried out by the material nature are sometimes accepted as our scientific inventions. Therefore, we want to take credit for them and defy the existence of God. This is described in the Bhagavad Gita 3:27. Ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. Due to being covered by the illusory external energy, the living entity tries to take credit for the differentiated creations within the material world. Actually, all these are being created automatically by the material force set in motion by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the ultimate cause is the Supreme Person. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes, the ultimate cause. In this regard, Srila Madhvacharya says, Evam Sarvam Tatha Prakritvayai Kalpitam Vishnur Anyat. Evam Prakrityadharah Swayam Ananyadharo Vishnur Eva Ataha Sarva Shabdascha Tasmineva. Actually, the original cause is Lord Vishnu, but out of ignorance, people think that matter is the cause of everything. Raja Gopta Shrayo Bhumi Sharanam Cheti Laukikaha Vyavaharo na Tat Satyam Tayor Brahma Shrayo Vibhu. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ji ki Jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki Jai. Things are contemplated on the ephemeral or external platform, but actually this is not the truth. The actual protector and shelter of everyone is Brahman, the Supreme, not the King. Goptri cha tasya prakritis tasya Vishnu swayam Prabhu tava goptri tu prithvi natvam gopta shite smrita ata sarvashrayaischaiva gopta cha hari ishvara sarva shabda videyascha shabda vrittehi karanam sarvantara sarva bahir eka eva janardana. The actual protectress is the material nature, but Vishnu is her Lord. He is the Lord of everything. Lord Janardhan is the director both externally and internally. He is the cause of the function of words and what is expressed in all sounds. Shiraso dharata yadvat grivayas tadvadevatu ashrayatvam cha goptrutvam anyesham upacharatah. Lord Vishnu is the resting place of the entire creation. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. On Brahman, everything is resting. All the universes are resting on Brahmajyoti, and all the planets are resting on the universal atmosphere. In each and every planet, there are oceans, hills, states, kingdoms, and each planet is giving shelter to so many living entities. They are all standing on the earth of feet and legs, torso and shoulders, but actually everything is resting ultimately on the potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is known ultimately as Sarva Karana Karanam, the cause of all causes. Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis to speak something on this very exalted subject matter being brought by Jad Bharat to Rahugana and repeated in the Srimad Bhagavatam through the divine mouth of Shukdev Goswami. I am especially seeking blessings of His Grace Radhika Vallabh Prabhu. He just descended a few minutes back in our temple, and I requested if he can kindly give in the session, but then Prabhu said that no, you give. So at least in the end, I will request him to correct me and also add if he wants. So I seek his blessings. He can speak across scriptures on such subject matters, but I am just going to share something, whatever I have tried to learn from the great masters. So this verse is coming in the section where Jad Bharat is now explaining further the things that he has already shared, but uh, very humbly, Rahugana, after submitting himself, begging forgiveness for his audacity to speak in an inappropriate way, he seeks further clarification on what Jad Bharat has said, because what he is speaking is very high philosophy. So he requests that please kindly elaborate, kindly help me to understand it properly. So in that connection, then he is speaking. Now Jad Bharat is speaking, and here he says that all this shortness, differences, grossness, skinniness, smallness, bigness, because uh, Rahugana, while chastising Jad Bharat, had spoken such words that you look very fat, and uh, actually he spoke in a sarcastic way. He said that you're so thin, so that is why you may not be able to carry the palanquin and all. But he was actually meaning that you are very fat. Why are you not able to carry? You know. So all these kind of adjectives he gave to Jad Bharat at that time. So he is seeing him on the bodily front. So here Jad Bharat is trying to help him understand that these things, that someone is small, someone is big, and also the other temporary designation that he connected to was that he is the king and he is the Jad Bharat is like a servant. So that thing also Jad Bharat is trying to say all these things are actually just temporary differentiations. We have these are all circumstantial. So he's giving the analogy, they are all pots made of the same substance, earth. So earth is there. Earth can make a earthen pot to drink. It can also make like vase to put flowers. So there can be different pots made, but then they're all made up of earth finally, and they all come back into earth. You know, from dust you, be, and then to dust you return. So like that. So he's saying that all this is temporary. Actual reality is beyond this. So Srila Prabhupada, in the purport, he elaborates more on this particular thing. You should know that all these are simply mechanical manifestation created by material nature. So Prabhupada brings two principles. First, he establishes the point that the jiva is not the creator. He may say that I have made this scientific invention, but actually material nature is making all the manifestation. Prakriti kriyamanani guna karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. So Prabhupada used to, let me complete the point. So first is this principle, and the second principle which he further builds is material nature is also working under the Supreme Lord. So Supreme Lord is the final cause, ultimate cause, and he is also the he is giving material nature the directions how to act. So he is the Parama Ishwar. So we will try to dive into both these subject matters in some proportion. Yeah, that's right. So first of all, talking about the pride that the living entity has about his own creation. So Prabhupada said, give God the Nobel Prize. Give God the Nobel Prize. Why? Because actually, without God's intervention, we cannot have anything. In fact, like we say, Newton discovered the law of gravitation. But who invented the law of gravitation? Newton did not invent. He just discovered. Discovered means it was already there. Cover was removed. Discover. So he discovered. So it's already there. But who invented? Right? So if someone just like if my laptop is in the cupboard and you just remove, and you don't say that I have invented the laptop, you just discovered the laptop. But actually the invention is from the scientist. But the invention of the scientist is also based on discovering the laws of nature which are created by God. So if law of gravitation is not there, if all the, like in electronic goods, if Lord had not made the, as scientists say about it, SPDFG orbitals and the rotation of the electrons around the neutrons and all that, means the nucleus, So if that kind of laws are not made by the Lord, then scientists are helpless. They cannot do anything. So actually give God the Nobel Prize. He has made everything. So if a person feels proud of his creation, like if a farmer says, oh, I have made these crops. No, sir. If you made the crops, first of all, who gave you the seed? God will say, I gave you the seed. Who gave you the sunlight? God, sir. Who gave you the energy to act, to put the seed in the, God, you only gave. Who gave you the water? You only gave, sir. Who gave you the air? Sir, you only gave, sir. So what did you do? Sir, I put the seed. But that also, I only give you the energy. So what did you do? Sir, I just desired to align with your idea. Yeah. So what are we doing? We are just trying to sometimes act. Our will is aligned with the Lord. Sometimes it is not aligned with the Lord. That's all. So the creations in this world are made possible by the manifestations of material nature, but that is also directed by the Lord. So one can never be proud of his own, externally speaking, creation, his own creation. So sometimes people are proud of maintenance. I am maintaining something, but actually we are being maintained by the Lord. The factories cannot give one grain also. Not one single food particle can get created in this universe without the sanction of the Lord. So we are not maintained by anyone but the Lord. So we sometimes take a false sense of creation, maintenance, and destruction, but actually everything is maintained, created, and destroyed by the Lord's plan. So Ishvara Parama Krishna. So it's Parama Krishna means finally the Lord is the Ishwar, but we are also tiny Ishwaras. But our Ishwaratvam, our controllership, is subordinate to the Lord's control. Like a plane may be driven by a pilot. So surely he is better than Jad Tattva. Jad is the plane is a Jad Vastu. And the Chetan Vastu pilot, when he enters the plane, he can move the plane. But sometimes planes go haywire also. Right? Recently some accidents also happened. So why the Jiva cannot fully control? Because he is not the Parama Ishwar. He is a tiny Ishwara. But the Lord is a Parama Ishwar. So when we become proud, Ahankara Vimud Atma, then we don't see that we are dependent on the Lord. So like Muhammad Ali would say, he was a boxing champion. He said, I am the greatest. But when he became old, when the bodily energy is removed by the Lord as the person becomes old, then he cannot lift the Olympic torch. He was not even able to lift the coffee cup because he got Parkinson's disease. So we may have the opportunity to lift the hand, but this facility to lift the hand is given by God. Like you see, in Maharashtra we say Maharashtra State Electricity Board. What is here? Electricity Board. Telangana TSEB. Okay, anyway, so Telangana State Electricity Board. So we may switch on the fan, but if TSEB switches off from main switch, you are not getting any electricity, then you can keep switching on and off. There is no possibility of switching on the fan. So if the Lord switches off our body, if He does not allow us to lift the hand, then we cannot lift the hand. And that is what is paralysis. We may think that I am digesting the food, but no, sir. The Lord is actually digesting the food. Most of the devotees face a lot of constipation problems. So we should always know that we are dependent on the Lord to have digestion also. What to talk of digestion? Even to wake up, we need the Lord. Even to wake up. Like if Lord does not connect the alarm clock to our ear, through the sense devtas, then we will remain sleeping only. In fact, it happens also sometimes. Some other devotees wake up and say, Prabhu, your alarm is ringing. What are you doing, sir? Get up. So other ears are connecting to that sound, but we are not able to connect to the sound. So if the sound, the external sense object does not connect to the sense, then we are helpless. We cannot understand what's going on. Yeah. So we are completely dependent on the Lord. In fact, just like suppose I want to lift this kartal, first my eyes see, then I lift. So we cannot see a sense object without the sanction of the Lord also. You know? The Lord first sees, then we see. And Lord shows us something according to our desire. You know? So someone says, Prabhuji, what to do? A sense object came in front of me, I fell down, No, sir. According to our desire, the Lord showed us that sense object. Like, for example, in the school, when the children are coming out, so many children are coming out, chutti ho gayi, tan, 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 and all thousands of children come out, right? But when so many children are coming out, you will see the mother is able to locate her child amid so many children who may be in front, on the sides. Why she is able to locate that child so easily? Because the Lord focuses her attention to that sense object, because that is a relevant sense object to her heart because of attachment to that child. So the Lord gives us drishti in this world also according to our desires. Otherwise we cannot see this world also. Like you will see sometimes something is going on in front of us also, but we are not seeing it because the Lord is not making us focus on that. So we cannot do anything, we cannot think anything, see anything without the sanction of the Lord. So we are completely dependent on the Lord. So no one should ever feel proud of his own, any action. So one should always know that Lord is sanctioning it. That's why I am able to do. And one should always be conscious of his desire, because that is the basis of what Lord will actually see. That if he's desiring this, okay, I can try to fan that desire through sanction. So surely one can desire. If someone very strongly desires something, then the Lord may sanction it also. Sarvasya chaham idi sannishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So Krishna gives smriti, jnana and apohanam according to one's desires. So someone who is very strongly desiring something, the Lord may sanction that. But he should deserve it also according to the law of karma. So the Supreme Lord is orchestrating the whole show, so one should not be proud. So this is one principle. Just one minute. Yeah, also we should remember that in the Bhagavad Gita, how Krishna helps us to see that the source of everything is He. For example, buddhir buddhimatamasmi, balam balvata chaham. So He is giving all the ingredients, the strength, everything He is giving. So more we can connect to this point that He is the owner, He is the sanctioner, then we will not become proud. And that is knowledge. One should act in knowledge. So the next point which Srila Prabhupada brings up is that actually the Lord is acting through material energy. The material energy acts. And the Lord is the ultimate doer. So sometimes people just connect to material energy. Lord, the energy is there, but they cannot see the Lord. If you grossly see this world, you cannot see God. You can only see material energy at work. Like, okay, someone has a brain, so that's material energy. So there is only gross material energy and subtle material energies which are visible. But the Chetan Vastu, Atma is there, and the Atma is also controlled by someone because he is not in supreme control. So then there is Paramatma. So some of the philosophers, they do not accept the idea of Paramatma. They only accept the material nature as the cause of everything. But that is not proper. Today is Durga Puja. Durga Puja means the Adhishtatri Devi of material nature. But Durga Devi is actually sheltered and also acting on the instruction of the Lord. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chhaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ichchanarupam api yasya chacheshtate sa Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Govindam is the Adi Purush, and one of his energies is Durga Maya. And she is orchestrating Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, all three. So Durga is actually the Adhishtatri Devi for that. And she is Chayeva Yasya, she is like a shadow. If the hand moves, the shadow also moves. Similarly, if the Lord desires something, she will act. Ichcha anurupam. According to the Lord's desire, she acts. So she is a pure devotee of the Lord, and she wants to do whatever He wants. So Shakti, she is Shakti, but Shakti as a Shaktiman. Like say suppose some stone comes and hits your laptop from the window. From the window a stone comes and hits your laptop and the screen breaks. Then you don't blame the stone. You go back to the window and say, hey, who is there? No, because there is an energetic behind the energy. So Mother Durga is the energy, but who is the energetic? Shaktiman. So Shaktiman is the Supreme Lord, and he possesses unlimited energies. And the Bahiranga Shakti is personified by Mother Durga, and the Antaranga Shakti is personified by Mother Radharani. So Durga Maya is holding Trishul and sending us out of this matter world. Get out, kick out, And Mother Radharani is holding the lotus flower. Please come in, welcome home. So one should know that Durga Maya is actually also not finally orchestrating things. Durga is also under the guidance of the Lord. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. So he is the Adhyaksha. He is supervising the activities of Durga Maya. So in the second canto, there is a beautiful verse. This is 2. Wait a minute. Yeah, 2:10:45. It says, okay, maybe I can show this a little bit. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this verse, Nasya Karmani Janmadau Parasya Anuvidiyate Kartritva Pratisedhartam Maya Ropitam Hitat. So So it says, there is no direct engineering by the Lord for the creation and destruction of the material world. It's becoming too small now. This one. Yeah. What is described in the Vedas about his direct interference is simply to counteract the idea that material nature is the creator. So sometimes in the Vedic text, we will see that material nature is emphasized upon. Sometimes the Supreme Lord's intervention is emphasized, but the Supreme Lord does not directly interfere with the material nature. He is busy doing his Leela in the spiritual world, and he interacts through the glance, which is called Shambhu. So the glance of the Lord, he acts through the glance on material nature. Just like if a guest comes home, so the father does not have to go into the kitchen. The father will just glance over his good wife, and then the wife will understand chai lane ka hai, coffee lane ka hai, whatever, or whatever in sweets and all that. So the Mother Nature is acting based on the glance of the Lord. So both are involved, but Mother Nature is directly involved, and the Lord is not directly involved, but actually is involved in everything. If you read the description of Virat Purusha, it comes that all the matter had manifested, all the devatas, everything has come, but still nothing is moving till the Virat Purusha entered. So till the Lord enters, there is no possibility of any movement in this creation also. So Lord is existing as Shirodaksha Vishnu in atom, in between every atom, as a Paramatma. So the Lord is actually fully there in this world, but he is not part of this world in the, he is not acting, he is aloof from this world, although without him the world cannot act also. So here comes very beautifully Prabhupada writes, so the Vedic direction for the creation, maintenance and destruction of the material world is this: Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisham vishanti. Everything is created by Brahman. After creation, everything is maintained by Brahman, and after annihilation, everything is conserved in Brahman. Gross materialists without any knowledge of Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan conclude material nature to be the ultimate cause of material creation. So, the very point which Prabhupada referred to in the previous purport, we are seeing here also, that gross materialists talk like this. And the modern scientists also share this view that the material nature is the ultimate cause of all the manifestation of the material world. This view is refuted by all Vedic literatures. The Vedanta philosophy mentions that Brahman is fountainhead of all creation, maintenance and destruction. And Srimad Bhagavatam, the natural commentation on the Vedanta philosophy, says, Janmadhyasya yato anvayad itaratascha vignya swarat. Inert matter is undoubtedly energy with potential to interact. So inert matter has the potential to interact, but it has no initiative of its own. This is very important. That means inert matter can act, but inert matter will act only when initiated. Like this laptop can act based on I switching it on, So inert matter cannot act on its own. Srimad Bhagavatam therefore comments on the aphorism Janmadhyasya by saying Abhignya and Surat. The Supreme Brahman is not inert matter, but he is supreme consciousness and independent. So there is a conscious personality, just like this body is enacted by a conscious personality, the soul. Similarly, the whole universe is also a body which is enacted by the conscious personality, the Supreme Lord. Therefore, inert matter cannot be ultimate cause of creation, maintenance and destruction of the material world. Superficially, material nature appears to be the cause of creation, maintenance and destruction. But material nature is set into motion for creation by the Supreme Conscious Being, Personality of Godhead. He is the background of all creation, maintenance and destruction. And then Prabhupada quotes Maya Dakshina Prakriti. Then he gives a very beautiful example of father and mother. When the father contacts the mother, who is then able to conceive a child? A mother cannot have a child without the father giving the seed. Although it appears to the layman that the mother gives birth to the child, the experienced man knows that the father gives birth to the child. No? The material nature therefore produces moving and standing manifestation of the material world after being contacted by the Supreme Father and not independently. Like if you see a seed, if you sow the seed in the ground, all the trees are coming out and then there are so many fruits and in that there are so many seeds. So apparently the body is given by material nature. But who gave the seed to material nature? Aham bija prada pita. He is the seed giving father. So if the Lord does not give the seed to material nature, then material nature on its own will not bring out all those trees. No matter how many bodies are being produced in this world, all of them require the seed, the potential, the jiva to be inserted into the material nature by the Supreme Lord. And that is actually the Lord's. So the Nyaya talks about Ajagara Stana Nyaya. It is said that basically, just like the goat has some nipples on the neck, but they cannot bring out milk. Similarly, material nature without the Supreme Lord's intervention, she cannot actually do any activity. So, because Karanadakshay Vishnu is a plenary expansion of Krishna, it is he who electrifies the matter to put in motion. So here Prabhupada is giving another wonderful analogy. A piece of iron is certainly not fire, but when the iron is made red hot, certainly it has the quality of fire through its burning capacity. Matter is compared to the piece of iron and it is electrified or made red hot by the glance or manipulation of the Supreme Consciousness of Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu is electrifying this material nature. Everything starts working. Like this mic system, it cannot work without the electricity, right? It is dead matter, but someone electrifies it, then it starts working. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is electrifying the whole world actually. And that's why the material world is working. So, yeah. So now very important thing after discussing these two principles, that Jiva is not independent and material nature is also not independent. Now, when we say the Lord is actually the ultimate cause, so should we blame the Lord? Okay, I am smoking cigarettes, so Lord is only responsible. Should we say like Kamsa, after doing wrong action of killing the children, when it came to Durga, when Durga Maya came, when the 8th child was taken by Vasudev to Vrindavan, Gokul, and then he brought back Yogamaya, And then Yogamaya, when she showed the form of Durga, then Kamsa was always worshipping Durga. And now Durga Maya is saying, you fool, the person who is going to kill you is born elsewhere. You are foolish. So that time, then Kamsa said, I think demigods also are saying lies these days. And then he immediately spoke to Vasudeva and Devaki. He said, I am not the cause of the death of your children. Who is cause? Everything happens by the law of nature, law of karma. So everything is happening by its own accord, not my fault. So you don't have to, see me as the perpetrator. Actually, he's speaking law of karma, but in the wrong, he's applying wrongly. So when people don't take responsibility for their wrong action, that is misapplication of trying to put things on either Mother Nature or the Supreme Father. So there are three personalities involved here: Jiva, Prakriti and Ishvara. And all three of them have to take certain important role in the whole equation. So when it comes to Jiva desires. And because Jiva desires, he is responsible for the action. If he acts on behalf of the Lord, then he is not responsible. But the Jiva's desiring makes him responsible for the action. So he should act as per the duty given by the Lord. Karmanyavadhikaraste. He has to do that. But after that, what happens? Lord sanctions. Upadrushta Anumanta Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara. Because Lord is actually the Upadrushta. He is the Anumanta. So he is sanctioning. So that is why one should remain dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Even being so powerful like the Pandavas, who had, I didn't see Prabhu is sitting. So please forgive me. I seek blessings of Prabhu. Sorry. So, Upadrushta Anumanta. So Pandavas were so powerful. I was just reading recently Mahabharata. So Arjun could alone finish, or he could defeat the Kaurava army when they had attacked the Virat Desh. But he always in the conscious state of, in his heart and heart of heart, he always knows he is completely dependent on the Supreme Lord. So no matter how powerful the Lord makes us in this world, the Jiva should remain dependent on the mercy of the Lord, on the sanction of the Lord, on the will of the Lord, and act on his behalf as an instrument. And he should try to know the will of the Lord and act as his instrument. So that is what he should desire. Let thy will be done, not mine. So when we know that Lord is actually the sanctioner, he is the bhokta, he is the enjoyer. So this verse, Upadrushta, actually that section in the 13th chapter is very much important for this whole section. There also it comes that actually all the manifestations are just manifestations made by the transformations of material nature. So one should know that Lord is Upadrushta, he is the witness, he is always watching me. So I should never do something which is impure, something which will be displeasing to the Lord. And Anumanta, he is the sanctioner. If he does not sanction, I cannot, like I told, lifting the hand also, we cannot do anything without the sanction of the Lord. Like it is said, not even a blade of grass can move without the sanction of the Lord. So one should know, actually, if Lord does not sanction, I cannot do anything, And then Bharta, he is the maintainer. I am not the maintainer. People become proud of maintaining their family, but actually we are all maintained by the Lord. And we can get a capability to maintain someone in as per the Lord's sanction. So we may do some service. So we are doing our duty, but we should never think that we are the owner. One beautiful example I heard from his Godakesh Prabhu. He was telling that in the Vedic times the king would have bhumi. Bhumi means land. And sometimes the farmer would not have any land. So he would do bhumi dan. The king would do bhumi dan. And when he does bhumi dan, basically the land belongs to the king, but the farmer can use that bhumi for growing crops. And after he grows the crops, all the crops go to whom? They go back to the king. But the king maintains the entire family of the farmer. So bhumi also is known as Kshetra. So in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we refer to Kshetra. So this body, the subtle body, everything is gifted by the Lord. It is like a bhumi dan by the king, the Supreme Lord. And we are actually using that to bring out many crops, which are like using the talents to bring out some contributions for this world or for the pleasure of the Lord. But all that belongs to the king only. So we should give back to the king, and the king is going to maintain us. So this way, if we live, then we have understood that the Lord is actually the bhokta, he is the bharta, I am simply maintained by the Lord, and I should act as per the will of the Lord. And the last one is the material nature. So material nature is doing the thing. Prakrite kriyamanani. She executes the order of the Lord. So she is also not responsible. But knowing that she is making it all happen, we should remain detached and not become proud. The doership mentality should not come. Karta aham iti manyate. So giving up doership after trying to act as per the will of the Lord, trying to act in our duties, we give up our doership, we give up our proprietor, enjoyer, controller thing, because we see the hand of the Lord and material nature. Then we can be properly situated in our life, and we can act in a sane way in this creation, where we are simply a small living entity, and we have our mother nature and father God, and we are trying to act for their pleasure and become a happy family. And then we can go back to God. Hare Krishna. Any Prabhuji, would you like to say something? Please, kindly, Prabhuji, you have so much realizations. Please, kindly.
Some philosophers say that, maybe God is there, God created, but He is probably dealing from the world, because how is that, in spite of the presence of God, so much evil is happening? So He's created, no longer involved or no longer capable.
Yes. Prabhu, you want to? Okay, Prabhu is putting the points to complete the discussion. So yeah, sometimes people say, if God is involved, then what is He doing right now? So much problem is going on. Where is God? Where is your God? No. So reh gaya. No. Has He gone for a sleep, or is He dead? No. So actually, God is always there. Beautiful example some of the devotees share is that one time one person, analogy, one person went to a barber, and the barber said that I don't believe in God actually, God is there, then why is there so much suffering? So he was like a godly personality. So he was feeling very pained that he is saying like this. So he came out of the barber shop, and he saw one guy with long hair, hippie type of hair. And he called this guy inside the barber shop, and he said, well, my dear sir, I think there are no barbers in this city. He said, you are fool. I am a barber. Just now you got a haircut from me. He said, but I believe there is no barber, because this fellow has still got such long hair. So then he said, well, he should come to me, then I will cut his hair. Now he is not coming, then what can I do? He says, similarly, if people don't go to God, then they suffer. If they are actually turned away from God, that is why they are suffering. Otherwise, why will someone suffer? So people have to go to God, means they have to align with the will of the Lord. They have to read the Shastra, they have to hear the sadhus, then they can be happy in this world also. Otherwise, if they say that I will do whatever, like if law of gravitation is there, and someone says, I don't want to believe in the law of gravitation, and he jumps from the window, who is at fault? It is not Lord's fault. The law of gravitation is there. You should know the law of gravitation exists, so you should not jump. So when people break gross laws or subtle laws, they suffer. So the law is made so that there can be some harmony in this world. Like red light is there. If everyone follows the red light traffic light system, they are happy in the world. If someone breaks it, he suffers. It's not the fault of the government that this fellow broke. So when they suffer, it's basically because of misalignment or not alignment with the Lord. Like sun is there, so people see darkness when they turn away from sun. When they turn towards sun, then there is all light. So similarly, when they turn towards God, then there will be all joy of life. Even if externally this material world will still continue to give some suffering, birth, old age, disease, death will still be there. Adi Bhautik, Adi Atmik, Adi Devik will be there. But because of alignment with God, our hearts will feel sheltered. And then we can go back to God. This world will remain Dukhalayam, but we will become happy because we are knowing how it works. We will not expect Sukhalayam in Dukhalayam. Is this Raji? Any? Radhika Prabhu, any comment, Prabhu? Correction? Any question? Any devotee? Prabhu has a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the wonderful class. So you said that it is the role of the jiva to desire. So, but the modes influence the desires also, because Krishna says in the third chapter, 37th verse that.
Sorry. Slow down.
Krishna says in the third chapter, 37th verse in the Bhagavad Gita that it is lust that is the greatest enemy to the world, born out of the mode of passion. So these lusty desires are also influence of the modes. So you said that desire is the role of the jiva, but even the desire is being influenced by the modes.
I was thinking I should not touch this subject because it will go in another big. It's a good point, very important point. So if we say desire also is influenced by the modes, then what is the jiva doing? Simply helpless soul, programmed jiva. He is programmed. So actually, the will of the living entity, the free will of the living entity is free, but it is free to the degree let me. See, the living entity, internally and externally, he is having modes. For example, if we are going in a train, if we are sitting on a seat which is in mode of ignorance because everyone has slept over it, so we also feel sleepy, right? Similarly, if we have tamoguna inside also, that also influences us to feel sleepy or feel lust, this anger and all these lower things. So one may get influenced by the modes and act in the wrong direction. So in the human form of life, he has got an opportunity to rise above these modes. And for that, he has to use his free will. So as he uses his free will, it's like the example of an analogy of the cow. So the cow is tied up according to how much mischievous he is. So if he is very mischievous, then he will be tied up in a short rope. And if he is very good cow, she may be left free also, right? Similarly, jiva is made in the lower modes according to, so when the jiva thinks he wants to be more free, he becomes more bound, because he wants to free himself by breaking law. Like a person who is driving properly in this world, he does not get bound that he cannot drive. But if he is breaking the law and driving, then he is bound that he cannot drive. Similarly, when the living entity desires to break the laws of nature, then he becomes more bound. But if he acts according to the laws of nature, he is less bound, and that is mode of goodness in the Sattva Guna. And if you have to break against the mode of goodness also, because that is also a rope. So he can use the free will to access transcendence by chanting holy name, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and he will rise above that on pure love platform he will act. Then he will not act in modes. So the Lord allows the jiva to act. He has got the freedom. But that freedom, suppose he once desires something, then he gets bound by that mode. Then within that mode he acts. So within that mode means, like say you said that lust has covered him. So lust is the primary factor and he is desiring after that. But actually the primary desire to turn away from the Lord is his own. So that is you will see sometimes the mind is sharing some idea, but you don't want to do it. So you have the free will to say no to it. So the free will is free to the degree you are in the higher modes or in transcendence. And one should know that we are bound by the modes, but the core desire to be aligned with the Lord or to turn away from the Lord, that is not, every human being has the opportunity to do that. Yeah. Prabhu, you can add something, Prabhu, if some mistake, something.
Yeah, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was visiting, touring South India, the 6 years part. So when Hare Krishna Das fell down, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rescues him, then Prabhupada writes in the purport that, so even though the living entity may be the associate of Supreme Lord, unless his ability to act over the lust, the Lord cannot himself help the jiva. So how to understand this point in this context?
Because the Lord has given us freedom, right? The living entity has got the freedom to be with the Lord or away from the Lord. That freedom always remains. So even if the Lord is standing always by our side, Lord Chaitanya was by his physical side also, but Lord is sitting by our side also as Paramatma. And so many times he says, Prabhu, don't do this, but we do that, right? Because, at least I do that sometimes, because that is the mischievous nature of the soul. He wants to act the other way. So just like in previous time. Now it is not like case. Radio. In the radio, they would tune, and there was this low, the MW, and there were frequencies. So sometimes noise would come, and the channel is coming very faint, right? So similarly, the Lord is actually speaking always to us as the Paramatma. But if we don't hear the Paramatma, the noise of sense gratification is very high. So signal to noise ratio is very poor actually. So that is why we keep hearing noise signal and we follow the mind's dictate. But if we are ready to hear the Lord, by chanting the holy name, we calm down the mind and the Lord's voice become very clear. And then the Lord's voice clear, then you will do that. So the discrimination will become strong, the determination will become strong because of feeling sheltered by the Lord. Then we can act in the right way. Yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.